Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hare Gopijana Ballabha Girivaram Dhari Gopijana Ballabha Girivaram Dhari Jasodanandana Jajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Jajajana Ranjana Jamuna Chira Vanachari Yamanatira Vanachari Jayaran Hamadava Kunjabihari Jaya Rama Madhava Kunjabihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. God Jai. This is the real nectar. Prabhupada has given us this means of actually transcending this material existence and reconnecting with Lord Shri Krishna and Srimati Radharani and their transcendental pastimes right now in the spiritual world. We just have to dive deep, 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 deep into the nectarian rasa of Harinam Sankirtan, and we actually awaken our eternal identities as the servants of Krishna beyond this material existence. Jayam Vishnuvan Vanamaham Zabadi Vajragacharja Ashtaladadashi Shrimad is divine grace Shilesi Bhakti Vadanjati Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bhatita Pavana Savior the fallen souls Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada flooding the whole universe with a tidal wave of super ecstatic Krishna Prema Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnuvan Vanamaham Zabadi Vajragacharjam Astatarasadhi Shrimad. His divine grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premsakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaura Prema Nanda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada, Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane, Namaste Sarasvate Deve, Gauravani Prachadine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschachadesha Tarine.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So it's our immense great fortune to have the association of two divine personalities here at Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Mandir today. We are with us with His Grace Sankarshan Adhikari Prabhu and Her Grace Vishnu Priya Mataji. So Prabhuji and Mataji have been blessing us with their association for last 15 years. But last 3 years because of COVID we could not have their association. And now we are fortunate to have them with us here today. So I'll give a brief introduction because there are many devotees who have connected in last 3 years and they may not be so much in connect with Prabhuji. So Prabhuji appeared in the United States of America in 1947 in the auspicious month of Kartik, the 10th day of Kartik. And you grew up there in that turbulent times of American history in the 1950s and 60s. But he had a great yearning, he had a great desire to bring about a revolutionary change in the world. And even as a youth, he was looking forward to how he can do that, how he can accomplish to change the world history. And he was looking for a guru, he was looking for a process. In that process, he met many pseudo-gurus, practiced many processes, but nothing could satisfy him. So he resorted to writing the songs and singing them on the guitar, because that was the trend at that time, a revolution through music. So he wrote many songs, sang them, and that had great impact. But still he was looking for a perfect spiritual master who could guide him to perfection. So he came across devotees in San Francisco in 1968, later in 1969, and 1971 he met His Holiness Vishnujan Swami Maharaj in Austin, Texas. And later he met Srila Prabhupada there. And in the same year in 1971 in August, on August 12th, he got initiated by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So it is 51 years from now, when Prabhuji got initiated by Srila Prabhupada. And last 51 years, he has been totally, dedicatedly, committedly serving Srila Prabhupada's mission in various ways. In this journey of 51 years, he has played so many roles. He has been a pujari, he has been a cook, he has been a president, he has been a traveling preacher, he has been a Sankirtan leader, he has been a Sankirtan van party leader, and he has traveled all across US and Canada in all the services. And then in the year 2000, the governing body commission empowered him to serve as a spiritual master in ISKCON society. And since then, his preaching and travel has expanded worldwide. So he makes 2 world tours every year. So they start from Austin and then, come to the European part and then come to India, then sometime go to Australia, return back like that. So they have been doing that tremendously and they have achieved tremendous success in inspiring people to take to Krishna consciousness and inspiring devotees to take Krishna consciousness seriously and purely, because they represent Srila Prabhupada teaching very purely. They read from Prabhupada's purport, explain it in the way Prabhupada wanted. And they do not allow any kind of dilution to happen in Prabhupada teaching. So in the year 2000, he also started a internet-based course called the Ultimate Self-Realization course. So it was very attractive, and then now more than 50,000 students are connected to that course, and they receive a quote and a video every day, which they watch, and then they ask questions. And Prabhuji personally answers each of the questions which he receives from all these different students. So a lot of his time goes in internet preaching also, apart from the temple where they stay and give classes. And because of this kind of preaching, he has disciples all over the world. I was sharing earlier that when I went to Vyas Puja, so in the Vyas Puja, generally we have slots for devotees' names. So in that I saw there was slot for the countries' names. Lithuania this slot, Mauritius this slot, Thailand this slot, Singapore this slot. Because there are so many devotees in so many different parts of the world that everybody cannot give a chance. So they give to the whole community of that area a slot. And then the devotees, they together either they present a song or sometimes a skit or somebody gives an offering on behalf of that entire country. So it has been tremendous service to Srila Prabhupada, and he has also been writing songs. to create a revolution through music. His songs have been greatly appreciated. He wrote a song on the peace formula, how to bring peace in the world based on Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktaram Yage Tapsam words. And that song was appreciated by the then President of America, Mr. Obama. So he also wrote that, I'm listening. So he wrote a comment and sent it. So it has been greatly appreciated. And we have been especially fortunate because Prabhuji comes every year and nourishes us with his wonderful lectures and answers so many questions. I feel that the question which we have in the remaining part of the year, they equals or they are less than the question which we have with Prabhuji in just 2 or 3 days and 2 or 3 classes. Earlier we used to have a whole bunch and we used to preserve them for the next class like that. So very fortunate to have his association. Even at this age of 75, his enthusiasm is growing at a much faster rate than the bodily age. So we have not seen Srila Prabhupada at an old age, how he created a revolution and how he traveled, how he preached, how he gave his time, how he managed his schedule. But by seeing Prabhuji and Mataji closely, you can get a glimpse, because even at this age, no matter what time it becomes in the night, they get up at 2 a.m., chant their round before Mangal Arati. Most of us, we can chant 4 rounds before Mangal Arati and preach, travel all across the world. Traveling is very hectic and very tiring thing. Now also when they came to Pune, 3 days they have been in transit to South Africa, then to Doha, then they came here. So it's a very great inspiration to see them serving so dedicatedly in Srila Prabhupada's mission and showing by their example how to dedicate one's body, mind and soul in spiritual master service. And we have Her Grace Vishnupriya Mataji, who's assisting Prabhuji in all his different services. They are preaching partners and they travel together and preach all across the world and organize the different travel schedules and preaching program. Mataji is also a very, very powerful preacher. She got introduced in Fiji way back in 1977. And then she came to Canada, with there she got more association with devotees. Later she served in various parts in US, especially in Dallas, Texas. So there's a lot of glories to Mataji, but she doesn't like her to be introduced in detail. But just one thing which inspired me deeply was that when Mataji was working in those days in Fiji, morning she used to attend the entire morning program and then go to company for work, whatever job she had. And come back from the job back to temple and serve in the temple till late night. Then go to home, take rest, and then again next day morning program. So this kind of dedication has been there from the very beginning. They have been very committed to the morning program, which is a very extraordinary example. No matter what happens, last 51 years, no missing the morning program. For whatever reasons, there may be health situations, there may be traveling, there may be jet lag, so many things. So this has been a great example of how to stick to the process given by Srila Prabhupada. And actually, we can see in their lives that how Prabhupada's process is so perfect, and if somebody follows it, he can achieve ultimate perfection in this life. So today is a special class. It's a joint class by Prabhuji and Mataji. And we will have questions with both of them. So let us welcome both of them, that they are blessing us here at Pune. Let us thank them, greet them, welcome them at Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Mandir by loudly chanting once the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Thank you very much. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service, text number 15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yat Anudya Asina Yukta Karma Guranti Nibandhanam Chindanti Koveda Tasya Kap Na Karyat Kata Ritim Yad Anujasina Yukta Karma Granti Nibandhanam Chendanti Kavidas Tasya Kona Koryat Kataratim Yad anujatsina yukta karma granti nibandanam Chandanti kavidatasya kono kuryat katavritam Yad anujatsina yukta karma granti nibandanam Chandanti kavidastasya kono kuryat katavatim Chandanti kavidastasya kono kuryat katavatim Anudayasa yukta Ananti nibandanam Chidanti kavidatasya Kona kuryat katavatim Yadanudasina yukta Karvagranti nibandanam Chindanti kavidastasya Kona kuryat katavatim Yadanudasina yukta Nibandanam Antikavidastasya Kona kuryat katavatim Ladies,
Dadida
Anudasina yukta Namaganti nibandanam Chindanti kavidastasya Anakuryat katavritim Yat which Anuja remembrance Asina sword Yukta being equipped with Karma reactionary work Granti not Nibandhanam interknit Chindanti cut Kaveda intelligent Tasya his Ka who no not Kuryat shall do Kata messages Ratim attention. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivajrakacharya Astatarajadashi Srimadesi Bhakti Vedantati Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. With sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work karma by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Purport. The contact of the spiritual spark with material elements creates a knot which must be cut if one wants to be liberated from the actions and reactions of fruitive work. Liberation means freedom from the cycle of reactionary work. This liberation automatically follows from one who constantly remembers the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead. This is because all the activities of the Supreme Lord, His Leela, are transcendental to the modes of material nature, of the material energy. They are all attractive spiritual activities, and therefore constant association with the spiritual activities of the Supreme Lord gradually spiritualizes the conditioned soul and ultimately severs the knot of material bondage. Liberation from material bondage is therefore a byproduct of devotional service. Attainment of spiritual knowledge is not sufficient to ensure liberation. Such knowledge must be overcoated with devotional service so that ultimately the devotional service alone predominates. Then liberation is possible, is made possible. Even the reactionary work of the fruitive workers can lead one to liberation when it is overcoated with devotional service. Karma overcoated with devotional service is called karma yoga. Similarly, empirical knowledge overcoated with devotional service is called jnana yoga. But pure bhakti yoga is independent of such karma and jnana because it alone can not only endow one with liberation from conditional life, but also award one the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, any sensible man who is above the average man with a poor fund of knowledge must constantly remember the personality of Godhead by hearing about him, by glorifying him, by remembering him, and by worshiping him always without cessation. That is the perfect way of devotional service. The Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were authorized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach the Bhakti cult, rigidly followed this rule and made immense literatures of transcendental science for our benefit. They have chalked out ways for all classes of men in terms of the different castes and orders of life in pursuance of the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam and similar other authoritative scriptures. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Datta Bharakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Liveiskconpune Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadyan. So, how much indebted we are to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. We are here all bound up in the knots of reactionary work, completely entangled, like prisoners in the hard knot of material existence. But Srila Prabhupada has come with this sword to cut this knot, you see, and liberate us from this hellish nightmare we're in right now. You see. So we have to take his teachings very seriously, take them deeply, 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 deeply into our hearts. So all these, this like a super knot. You tie one knot and you add another loop, hundreds and thousands of loops, an incredibly immense knot in our heart. After millions of lifetimes of trying to enjoy independently with the Supreme Lord, we have these amazingly hard knots in our heart. So if we hear Prabhupada's teachings, we follow Prabhupada's teachings very carefully, then Prabhupada can take this sharp knife of Krishna Katha, this sharp knife of remembering Krishna, and cut. I was hearing Prabhupada this morning give a lecture on this exact verse. And he was saying this hard knot is actually sex desire. And how difficult it is. People just can't give up sex desire. He gave the example of the hippies, who actually gave up the wealth of their fathers. They came from wealthy homes all over America, and they went to live on the street like beggars. But Prabhupada said they could not give up sex. You see, that they could not give up, you see. So this is the difficult thing we have. We were so addicted to sex life, you see. The hard knot in the heart is that sex desire. So we have to understand what is beyond that sex desire. That we have to come to the actual position of loving Krishna, you see. Loving Krishna is the most satisfying, fulfilling thing. It brings us back into our eternal identities, which are full of bliss and full of knowledge. This is why we have to take advantage of the bona fide spiritual master, take advantage of the sadhus, you see. Because by their association, we can get this inclination to give up this sex pleasure and go for the nectarian pleasure of having a loving relationship with Krishna by always thinking about him, talking about him, bowing down to him, being engaged in serving him 24/7. From the moment we wake up in the morning to the moment we go to bed at night, even in our dreams, we want to be engaged in Krishna consciousness, you see. Krishna consciousness is the solution for all of our problems, both individually and collectively. It's the solution for all the problems of this entire planet. The solution for all the problems of this entire universe. The solution for all the problems of the multi-universes. So we have to take this process very seriously and not look somewhere else for happiness, for satisfaction, for relief from our desire, our distresses. We have to just become completely, totally absorbed in awakening our love for Krishna. Learning how to experience Krishna within everything and everything within Krishna. Krishna says, for one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So we have to learn how to experience Krishna within everything and everything within Krishna. We have to see how that loving mercy of Krishna is being showered upon me at every minute. You see, actually Krishna is not neglecting any of us. Even though we've turned our backs on him, he has not given up on us. He's doing everything he can to bring us back. We're his runaway children. And he's doing everything he can to inspire us to want to return to his transcendental devotional service, his transcendental abode. So we should learn how to tune in to this loving mercy of Krishna, how it's manifested in every situation we find ourselves in, the so-called good, bad, beautiful, and ugly. Krishna's mercy is showering upon us at every minute. So how to come out of this conditional state where I think I'm the center of the universe and everything has to be according to my desires, you see. We have to come out of this state of consciousness and come to the state of consciousness. How can I see everything as the loving mercy of Krishna? So I can connect with him. I can reconnect with him. This bhakti yoga process. Even if I'm engaged in karma, let me offer those activities to Krishna. Even if I'm engaged in philosophy, let me engage my philosophical pursuits in the service and realization of the absolute truth, the tato brahma jigyasa, by hearing from the greatest philosophers, the Vedic sages, you see. There's no reason to remain in a suffering condition, in a confused position, in a bewildered, depressed position. There's no reason to remain there. All we have to do is realize that Krishna's unlimited mercy is showering upon me right now, this very minute, So let me now learn how to reconnect with them. I have to reciprocate with Krishna, that's all. To reciprocate, you see. And the beauty of reciprocating with Krishna is that for every little bit you reciprocate with him, he gives 10 times more. If you take 1 step towards Krishna, he takes 10 steps towards you. You take 10 steps toward Krishna, he takes 100 steps towards you. So very quickly, this vast distance between us and Krishna can be counteracted if we just make that sincere attempt, even if we slip and fall. Somebody just wrote me an email today, one of my disciples, that, Gurudev, I had this difficulty, I had to fall down, so is it now hopeless for me in my spiritual life? No, I told him. Just like a little child, if he's learning how to walk, if he slips and falls, that means he has to crawl for the rest of his life? One time slipping and now he has to crawl. Okay, son, you were trying to walk and you fell down. Now you must crawl the rest of your life. Does he have to crawl the rest of his life? No. Someday he'll walk. Even someday he became a champion runner who can run the 27-mile marathon, you see. Who slipped and fell, but now he's running the 27-mile marathon, you see. So in a similar way, you see. It doesn't matter if I slip and fall as I take up this process. Let me get up and try again. You know. Try again. No matter how much I slip and fall, no matter how many mistakes I make, no matter how many offenses I commit, still, the potential for me becoming a fully enlightened spiritual being, qualified to see Krishna face to face, eye to eye, is available for me. It's fully available. You just have to keep that enthusiasm up. In all situations, keep that enthusiasm going. I'm going to become a pure devotee, no matter what happens, no matter how many slip-ups, no matter how many mistakes, no matter how many Vaishnava aparads, no matter how many Guru aparads, no matter how many Seva aparads, no matter how many times I get up to go into the modes, doesn't matter. I'm going to keep that determination to become a pure devotee of Krishna, you see. Just like Prabhupada gave the example of that little sparrow, you see. That mean, nasty ocean stole away the eggs of the sparrow. The sparrow said, "Give my eggs back." The ocean refused. She says, "Okay, you rascal ocean, I'm going to dry you up." Can you imagine a little sparrow thinking she can dry up the ocean with a little beak? Can you imagine you may such a stupid little bird, you can think. She didn't care anybody laughed. Actually, everybody said she's a stupid little bird. Just see that stupid little bird, how idiotic she is. Thinks she's going to dry up the ocean. Ha, 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 ha. You see? But she didn't care. I am going to dry up that ocean. I don't care how much I have to do, how much struggle I have to go through, how much they criticize me. I am determined to dry up that ocean. One drop at a time. Go down, pick up the water, put it in the beach, back down to the ocean, pick up some more water, put it in the beach, back and forth. Was she making any progress? Not much. But there was one person who was not laughing, and that was Garuda, the king of the birds. So he came swooping in on Garuda Airlines. And he told that ocean, "You better return those eggs right now, you rascal. I will dry you up by mystic power." So the ocean knew, now I'm defeated, give the eggs back. So we're all struggling. Every one of us is struggling. Let's face the facts. We're all struggling to become Krishna conscious. But we have to have the determination of a little sparrow. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to become a pure devotee, qualified to see Krishna face to face, eye to eye, at every minute, 24/7. And I come to that level where my heart is fully awakened in love of God. You see, Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena santak sadaiva hridayesha valoka yanti yang shama shunja ramachinya ganas svarupam govindam aripurusham tamam bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who was Shama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes from the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts, with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. You see. So that's the key. You see. That Premanjana, we have to hear about Krishna, hear about Prabhupada, hear about the Goswamis, hear about Radharani, hear about Balaram, hear about lifting Govardhan Hill, hear the teachings of the Gita, hear Bhagavatam, hear Sri Upanishad, hear the pastimes of Prabhupada, keep hearing these transcendental subject matters, and gradually our vision will become purified. You see? Actually, Krishna is already there. He's within every atom, between every atom. But right now we're just seeing the material world. We're covered. We have blinders, you see. But if you keep hearing the pure topics of Krishna consciousness, that day will come, and finally the sun rises, the beautiful Krishna's sun will arise within your heart, and all the fog, the modes of material should be cleared away, you see. You'll be situated as good as in the Goloka Vrindavan, even right here in Pune. You see. You don't have to wait to go back to Godhead to be intimately connected with Radha and Krishna. You can do it right now just by awakening pure love of God within the heart. You see, you can be a liberated soul, even here in this material existence, fully liberated soul. So let's do that. Let's work together individually, and I encourage each other, in spite of all of our mistakes, all of our stupidities, all of our fall downs and doing this wrong and that wrong. Let's encourage one another to all become pure devotees of the Lord. Pure devotees of the Lord. As Prabhupada personally ordered me, now you become qualified to see Krishna face to face. So that order is there for all of us. Actually, Prabhupada wants us all to become qualified to see Krishna face to face. So it is possible. We simply have to endeavor to become a pure devotee, that's all. And the benefit is, the more we become purified, it has an uplifting impact on the whole material existence. So not only are we liberating ourselves when we focus on pure devotion, we're actually having an uplifting, liberating impact on the whole world around us. You see, there's a Kali Yuga going on now, full force, but that Kali Yuga can be going to remission. There's a 10,000-year golden era of Chaitanya predicted in the scriptures, confirmed by Prabhupada. And we're right at the very beginning. We're the pioneers of the beginning of that golden era. So let's work together as a family to bring a spiritual revolution on this planet as soon as possible by revolutionizing our hearts. Revolutionize your consciousness, revolutionize the world. That's my book I'm working on right now. Revolutionize your consciousness, revolutionize the world. You see. To whatever extent you revolutionize your own consciousness, to that extent you're empowered to revolutionize the world. You see. So if there's any questions, Guru Maharaji, can you like to add some? This is my better half over here, Guru Maharaji. You'd like to add some points, David? Be happy to hear some points from your good self. Okay, any questions? Yes, please enlighten us with some words of wisdom.
Prabhupada clearly states here, we have to engage in devotional service. We are engaged in devotional service. Krishna's mercy is there. We are engaged in the devotional service. It's not only devotional service when our mind is running here and there. Devotional service is undivided. Undivided. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, undivided devotional service. Then we can control the senses and come to the transcendental platform. That is how we can get it out. Otherwise, we are engaged in devotional service. At the same time, mind is divided. Someone is of so many material attachments, and we are not able to give up that. So unless we come beyond that level, devotional service is coated with Maya. So we have to come out of that Maya. So many material attachments are there, so many material desires are there. When we are engaged in devotional service, it's not Krishna needs all our services. Krishna is kindly engaging us in these services so that we can overcome our anarthas of material desires, material attachments. That's when we come to pure devotional service, and that is where we come to understand the transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, we think it is very good, very nice. We are engaged in devotional service. At the same time, I'm thinking I'm a great devotee, but my senses are still coated with material desires and material attachments. This is what is mentioned, that come to that transcendental possession. That is the reason we have to hear Krishna Katha again and again. It is mentioned that Tadarajas tamo bhava kama lobha dayaschaye cheter eter. So our mind has to be purified. Not just, it is good that we are trying to engage, but unless we're going to coat it with control of the senses and giving up material attachments, we will not be able to free ourselves. Maybe another birth, another birth. So when we hear Krishna Katha, please pay full attention and try to put, Krishna does not say that you give me this or give me that. He wants us to be liberated, so that he tells with love and devotion. Even if you are offering something, it has to be love and devotion. Not artificially, I made for my sense gratification, I got hungry, I made a nice preparation, pizza, this, that, offer it to Krishna, and I will eat it and enjoy. No, it has to be love and devotion. Everything has to be done with love and devotion. Otherwise, it's divided. So we cannot go anywhere beyond this platform.
So mechanical Shobhana devotional service is not good enough.
Yes. I may do good kirtan. Yes, it's very nice.
Has to be the awakening of love of God within the heart, genuine love.
If we are really doing the real kirtan, real devotional service, our material attachments, material desires are diminishing. As it is said in the Bhagavatam again, that one who has come to the higher platform, as somebody who is eating, their hunger is eradicated, and then their nourishment is already fulfilled, and so they do not desire any more. So if we are really engaged, our senses will be subdued, and we will be offering our service with not material attachment, but all our material desires are gradually going away. So we have to see how much our material desires are going away and how much we are material attachment, we are becoming free from material attachments. Then we will know that we are coming to the transcendental knowledge and we are relishing Krishna Katha.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
So, are there any questions?
Hare Krishna. I do not wish for this big applaud, but if anybody has heard this and takes it seriously, that is my credit. Nothing, and not applauding is not big thing for me.
Hare Krishna. We have time for questions now. So you can write the question on chat if you wish. We have circulated the chats. And please do write your name also, because Prabhuji and Mataji want to address the person asking questions. Sometimes it becomes like we don't know who is asked for what purpose. So they want to make it personal. And for Mataji, you can even raise hand if you have a question for Mataji. The microphone will come to you. Prabhuji faces a problem in hearing, so that's why we use chats more. Otherwise, the best is to use the mic for asking questions. So because today both of them are available for answering the question. If any one of you want to ask the question to Mataji, then you can use the mic also. Otherwise, you can write the chats, write your name. You can also address it to Prabhuji or Mataji. We will do that circulation. Either you can send it directly on that side, or if it comes here, we will send to Mataji the question. So you can take your time to either write the question, or if you have a question right now, you can raise your hand, the microphone will come to you.
So, question now?
Yeah, it's question
Okay.
time. So they're writing on the chats and sending.
I was asked to share an experience on some kirtan experience. Yeah, one day our Temple President sent me out to Leesburg, Florida, distribute Back to Godhead magazine in a shopping mall. And I got a nice visit from the police department. They put me in jail. So they gave, I had a cell. I had a solitary cell all to myself. I spent about maybe 36 hours. It was more than 24 hours. I spent at least 36 hours in jail. But I had a very interesting experience. Of course, they offered me. We used to have Sankirtan candy, and we handed out a piece of candy. It was offered, and used that to use them to give a donation. Said, let me keep the candy. So that was my only prasadam, was the Sankirtan candy. I wouldn't touch their prison food. But and I also use those as counter beads. I would count each round, because we can chant, on our fingers. We know as Brahmins how to do that. So then I counted how many rounds by putting a piece of candy on this side of the bunk. That was my counter beads. Then I finished the rounds. I ate the candy. But I had an interesting experience, because they have a saying in America called behind the bars. That means you're in jail, you're called behind the bars. But I was looking through the bars, the window out the material world there, and I was saying the material world was behind the bars, not me. I was on the liberated side, because I was Krishna conscious. Okay. Let's see another one.
Everyone is behind the bar.
What's that, G?
Everyone is behind the bar.
Yeah, we're behind the bars, that's right. But this body is our prison cell. I'm misidentifying with it. We're in prison. Pali conscious is a prisoner. That's right. People say that after connecting to Krishna and ISKCON, they have to give up their precious worshipping gods. Can you please explain? Actually, your so-called connection to this God and that God, or to your family members, whatever it may be, you're attached to. You're not really serving them. You're just serving your own. You're just serving your own false conception of yourself. That's what you're really doing. The real point is this: when you actually become fixed in Krishna consciousness, you're rendering the best service to yourself, the best service to Indra, the best service to Ganesh, the best service to all the great acharyas, the best service to your countrymen, the best service to the donkeys and the lizards and the mosquitoes. When you become absorbed in Krishna's service, you become the best servant of every living entity through all of existence. So don't be fooled by all this false propaganda against Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the perfection of service to all living beings. Want to add some more, G? Okay, next question. Can you tell us one of your experiences of the Prabhupada? Let's see. I've already told a few of them here in different lectures. I'll tell a different one now. It was in Atlanta in 1975. In our ISKCON Atlanta temple, very nice. We had deities, big deities of Gaurnitai at that time. They were the main deities in the temple then. I remember it was so nice. Prabhupada looked down at Gaurni. He said, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda have appeared in Atlanta. And they weren't just deities. They were actually, he was seeing Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda actually standing there. And to be there with Prabhupada, looking at the deities, and to look at them after hearing him say that, it was a very mystical experience. But it was really nice. I would get, since I didn't get much association, I wasn't a personal servant, I didn't, most of us just were hearing about Prabhupada, maybe seeing him every 2 or 3 years when he came to our temple. So it's very rare to have his association. So I would get as close as I could, just like this devotee's right here. I got that close to the Vyasa-san, just right that, as close as I could. The whole temple room packed, I would get right by the Vyasa-san, as close as I could. And on the other side, there was Shruti Kirti Prabhu, Prabhupada's personal servant, who's with Prabhupada constantly. So it was a very interesting experience. I looked across Prabhupada's lap over at Shruti Kirti, He gave me the most beautiful, loving smile. He looked across Prabhupada's left. He looked at me with this big, beautiful, warm, loving smile. And I realized that actually this loving mercy I'm getting from him is actually, he's like a mirror, and he's in Prabhupada's constant association. And he's in total ecstasy being with Prabhupada. And seeing him, he was like, it's like Prabhupada's mercy is reflecting off of him. He's like a mirror, and I was getting Prabhupada's mercy off of him. You see what I'm saying? So in that way, I was associating with Prabhupada via Shrutakirti Prabhu, being showered by this loving mercy of Prabhupada through Shrutakirti Prabhu. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, thank you very much for your association. Thank you very much, Mataji, for your association. I had a question about, Mataji was sharing about everything has to be done with undivided devotion. No, without any division. That's what Krishna is asking. So how do I remove these divisions, which adulterations, which keep on coming again and again? Everything I am doing, I am thinking about what others are saying, or what fruit I will get, how much glorification will come. You know, all these thoughts keep on coming while this all adulteration is coming. And then Krishna is, as you said, that Krishna will not accept this in that sense. So how do I remove or reduce this division which is keep on coming all the time in my practice of devotional service? Can you please help?
Can you say that again? Repeat that again, please. My attention was not there.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you are sharing about how everything has to be done with undivided devotion, without any material desires. But when I am engaged in devotional service, these material desires are getting adulterated all the time. So how do I gradually remove them so that it will be pure devotion?
That is also mentioned by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita 270. Apuriyamana achalam patistam samudramapa, as it comes, like rivers are flowing into the ocean, and the ocean remains still calm. And the person who engages in those desires, he loses it. But we let it pass by. Let the desires go past and do not meditate, do not contemplate on it. And pay more attention towards the devotional service, so that you don't make mistakes. You make that always think, I have to offer loving devotional service to Krishna. Desires will come, but an intelligent person will not get engaged in that, but let it pass. And Prabhu always says that what is that? Yadavadi, can you say that, please? Yadavadi.
Yadavadi mamma cheta Krishna padara vinde Nava nava rasadamu yatarantu masit Tadavadi bhattanari Sangame smaryamane Bhavati muku nishtivanam cha. Ever since I've been engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, tasting nava nava rasa, ever increasing nectar in that service, whenever I do my past activities of a king, enjoying with all those palace maidens, sex pleasure, whenever I have those memories, my lips curl with this taste and I spit at the thought.
That one says the only sex pleasure, but I would say all the material desires can be taken away like that. Let it pass through.
Okay, we got some more questions here. Let's see. What is the importance of coming to Mangalarti on time daily?
I don't think.
Because that's how you get tuned into Krishna. You see. When I was a kid in high school, I used to be in the orchestra, and the person in what's called first violin, he would play middle C on his violin, and we would all tune to his instrument, so we were all in tune. So Mangalarti is the way we all get in tune. You see. if you don't come to Mangal Arati, you're out of tune, and it's difficult to be Krishna conscious, to be honest. You haven't tuned yourself in properly. So it's a matter of getting in tune. If the temple is not new, how to get, if the temple is not near, how to get most of online Mangal Arati? Well, I don't know about if you're here in Pune, that's one thing. We have Mangal Arati online, everybody in Astam. Just go to livelectures.net. Of course, it's different time for different. There's people hearing from different parts of the world right now. Then if it matches your time zone, people in the U.S. can turn into livelectures.net and come to Mangal Arati every day. Now over here, I don't know if they must have it online here too. The devotees can tell you what the access is to attend it online here. Is Lord Ram different from Krishna? No, he's the same person. A different Leela, that's all. While chanting Aparad Nam, how to rise to Namabhat stage and further to Shuddha Nam stage. So how to strictly avoid the 10 offenses, that's all. Be conscious of the 10 offenses and avoid them. Recite, you be aware of the 10 offenses and try to avoid them sincerely, and Krishna will help you. Okay, how to become fearless while practicing bhakti. Prabhupada is called Abhaicharan. What does that mean? One who's fearless by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So there's your answer. Abhaicharan is the answer. Become fearless by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. How to overcome laziness? Someone can say by hard work, but the real answer is no. You don't become lazy. You overcome laziness by love. Not by hard work, by love. That's the key. If you love someone, it's not work. It's ecstasy. Experience of Tamal Krishna Goswami. Well, as a young brahmachari, he put me in charge of his tape ministry. I would record the lectures. I had a duplicating machine, and I would sell them also. The devotees I'd be the marketing them as well. So the result I got from doing that service was, I remember for 2 years, nobody in the whole zone went to Mayapur Festival except for me and Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So he gave me let me come to Mayapur Festival. The only one in the whole zone who came to Mayapur along with him, because he was so pleased with I was doing the tape ministry. On the Garbadak ocean, he is there lying on the serpent on something waves, although he is a Bhajanandana. I'll deal with that one later. If I have time. Okay. We are living in the material world, so some are the other material desires comes in our mind. So does that desire pollute or relate with the material world? Our material desires are all a product of being in this material world. So they aren't totally related to our being here. That's why we have to take our consciousness to the lotus feet of Krishna to get out of this relationship in the material world. Actually, we are not actually citizens of this material world. I'm not this body. I'm not an Indian. I'm not an American. I'm not male. I'm not female. We have to come back to the transcendental position. The biggest enemy, lust, just does not go away. Yes, it does. It does go away. You think it doesn't go away? It does go away. You simply have to get the higher taste, that's all. That's all you do, just get that higher taste. It's a simple thing, you see. Nava Nava Rasa, get that higher taste, like Jamunacharya Albandru did. So how do you get the higher taste? You have to take this chanting process very seriously. Taking a spiritual master as your guiding authority in your life is a very serious way, you see. Give up your independently trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. Lust comes from our tendency to try to enjoy separately from Krishna. You have to understand, you cannot enjoy separately from Krishna. The only way you can enjoy is by pleasing Krishna. Anything besides pleasing Krishna is lust. It doesn't actually satisfy the self. So how to please Krishna? Well, you can ask him, Krishna, please bless me that I can please you unlimitedly with my every thought, word, and deed in all times, places, and circumstances. Please help me, Lord. I'm a lusty, crazy, lazy idiot. Please bless me now that my every thought, my every word, and every deed in every situation can be unlimitedly pleasing to you. If you keep begging him like that, you'll be amazed at how he reciprocates. Krishna loves you and he wants you back. As soon as he sees that you're sincerely endeavoring to become a pure devotee, he'll give you unlimited blessings and help to do that. Believe me, it works. How to give up the impressions of past sinful activities by trying to engage in devotional service with a pure heart. By taking darshan very deeply into your heart. When you see the deity, take the darshan so deeply, the deity enters into your heart. Take everything very deeply into your heart. And that will drive away all those past memories. Devi, you want to add anything to any of these questions, feel free. Okay, anything else?
She has some questions to answer. Mataji has got some questions.
The Mataji's have some questions.
She has some questions. She will answer. Some chits have gone.
What do you want me to do?
Some questions have gone to Mataji. Let her answer.
So you're giving her some questions now?
Yeah.
She has some questions now. Okay, Devi. So you answer some of those questions that you've gotten.
The question first is from somebody named, what is the name? Nirad. Nirad. Who is Nirad? Who is this question from? Reading of Srimad Bhagavatam becomes academic, and how to read in such a way that actually transforms our consciousness, and we get practical lessons to apply from Prabhupada's purports. Okay, thank you. So this is very nice and very intelligent question, I would say. Very intelligent question. So it's reading Srila Prabhupada's books is not just academically, we just peruse through it, but we try to absorb, go deep into the readings of Prabhupada's purport and apply it in your service and daily routine. Then you can get this message and then you will be able to absorb everything. Okay?
This more.
How do we make tangible spiritual advancement when Maya also subtle and strong? Do you believe in Krishna's word or not? Krishna says that anyone who is engaged in my transcendental loving service can overcome the stringent laws of material nature. That is the only way. With full attention, if we engage in devotional service, we can get over the Maya very easily. But if you start contemplating on Maya's intentions, dhyayoto vishayan pumsam sangaste shupajayate sangasanjayate kama, then you are definitely going to be carried away by Maya. and you cannot overcome Maya. So it is better to engage in devotional service and do not contemplate on your objects or desires. Let it pass through. Now, whose question was that? That got the message, or I just said something? We should give some to Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Sridhar. Sachinandana. Whose question was this? For eradicating our sinful habits, is it necessary to reveal them to our caretakers, or just by sincerely and intensely practicing devotional service, they can be overcome? You may get some help, but you have to follow the instructions, especially the spiritual master. You reveal your heart to him and your difficulties. But when he gives instructions, you must be ready to take it seriously deep into the heart and follow. Otherwise, if you reject the instructions and also that say that my spiritual master is not fulfilling my material desire, I'll go and get a Siksha Guru who will fulfill my desires, you will never overcome with their difficulties. You will be more entangled. Whose question is this, please? I do not take generally, so I want to know that our questions are answered. Otherwise, I'm not going to read and answer the questions. I would like to know that I have answered their questions. Whose question was this?
Whoever asked the question, raise your hand.
You can. Is your question answered? You want to ask a question to Mataji?
Well, who is this? Whose question?
You can write.
Huh? I'd like to know that if I answered the question for us, otherwise reading the question.
Please identify your question so that they can ensure that your question is answered. So there's nothing to be shy of.
Otherwise it doesn't make any meaning to me.
Yeah, Mother, you can read the question, let the question be identified. Then you answer it.
I asked about this question. I read the question. For eradicating our sinful habits, is it necessary to reveal them to our caretakers, or just by sincerely and intensely practicing devotional service, they can be overcome?
So, whoever asked this question, please raise your hand and you can ensure that you got an answer. Mata, you already answered it. If there is some follow-up question, then you can ask also.
Sure.
Mata, you can take up next question and ask. Before answering, you can ask whose question is that, okay, so that we give answer only when it is identified.
How do you read Prabhupada book? Please share. I read like everybody. Sorry. Whose question is this? Who's inquiring about how I read Prabhupada's books?
Here we go. Here's the hand up.
Stand up.
I just don't read. I read very slowly and very attentively. That's how I read. I go back, and if I don't understand, I go back and read. I don't just go reading all the books. Sometimes to read only one purport, it takes me very long, because I go back and try to understand. Okay? Thank you very much. What to do in weddings of near relatives? Can we eat Jain food, or should we not eat anything? Whose question is this? How much you want to develop love for Krishna? My question. Huh? what to do in weddings of near relatives. Can we eat Jain food or should we not eat anything? So I said, what do you want? Krishna or food, Jain food? Got the answer? I went to the wedding of my brother also. I did not take because it's not prasadam. Sometimes we feel like stop doing bhakti, then what to do? Ask yourself question. What is better? Bhakti or material activity? Huh? Okay, so then that's your answer. Okay? I can't read this one. What is real bhakti? What is real bhakti? We are doing so many activities like chanting, hearing, services, but how do we know that we are actually performing real devotional service? And real things do service is pleasing to the Lord. What can we do to please Lord Krishna? Whose question is this? Okay, but I do not know that person. You don't. That's a wonderful question, Mataji. As I already mentioned when I spoke about it, your material desires are reducing and material attachments are reducing. That means you are progressing in your bhakti. And unnecessary things, accumulation, I, me and minds are going away. No possessiveness. We have lot of attachments. And by doing bhakti, although you might do your duties, but that attachments are reducing, then you know you are progressing. Your devotional service is accepted by Krishna. And your more devotion towards Krishna will go. And when your spiritual master becomes happy seeing that you are making progress, then you know that Krishna is also pleased. Okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Pemho. I do not understand what is Pemho means. What is Pemho? Who wrote this Pemho? Modern day of acronyms. What is it called? Acronyms. Word. Are we going to say HK, HR, Hare, HK, ha. Are we going to chant the Hare Krishna mantra like that? We're going to chant full mantra, right? You can say Dandavat or not Pemho. Pemho is acronymic. In the material world, it's short and very saving time, but we should not save our time in devotional life. We should put our full effort. I know everybody is engaged in computer world, but say, suppose you said to do devotional service with love. I already explained it now. Don't say HK, HRR. Okay? Put your full effort. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. With a great feeling. And determination. But say, suppose after doing devotional service for some time we get fired. So should I stop? Stop because after my capacity it may be not out of love, but no, you should continue. Your capacity is not there, but you must continue the devotional service. And seeing your steadiness, as Prabhu gave this example of sparrow, even if you are a failure, go on doing. And even material world, we see that person who made the light bulb, he was a failure 100 times. He continued and he became successful. So even there is a failure, continue. Okay? With great determination and try to improve. So then one can come to success. Okay, this one is little better. Dandavat Pranam. I know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but how to accept it and act in that consciousness? Do you think this is great sages, great devotees who have dedicated their life, they are liars? Yeah.
Mataji, means when we are practicing and then when the things gets difficult for us, then at that time sometimes that faith that starts shaking up, that whether whatever I am doing is that right or wrong.
Yeah, keep away from the mouth so voice comes clear.
So my question is like when the things get difficult, then sometimes these thoughts comes whether whatever we are doing is that right or wrong. So although theoretically means intellectually we can make our mind clear, but that faith that doesn't come. So how
Yes.
to do that?
Very Kishore, yes, good ears. Yes.
During difficult times, if a question comes like whatever I am doing, whether that is right or wrong. Because intellectually we can make our mind convinced that yes, whatever I am doing that is wrong, but that natural faith that doesn't come. So how to develop that?
How to develop the natural faith. Okay. First thing we have to understand that material world is a miserable place and you cannot go without it. When you become devotee also, you will be going through all the miserable conditions. But that does not mean that what you are doing, devotional service, is not good. You should continue. Matra sparshas kanteya sitoshana sukha dukkada agamapaina nityastam titisyagatva bharata. So in all such sorts of difficulty, it will come and go. But if you remain steady in Krishna consciousness, then you will be making your destination or you will be reaching your goal. Goal of human life. Goal of human life is to come to this point, to develop, understand that I am not this body. As long as we have the body, we will go through the difficulties. Either it is mental, bodily, or physically, or family, or externals, or whatever. You will go through this. So that does not mean that Krishna is not the Supreme. Krishna is Supreme and He is encouraging you to go with great determination. That is also mentioned, that it will, as summer, winter season goes, changes, so that will happen. So one must learn to tolerate them. Okay? How to tolerate. Where is this? Can you read? How to tolerate fire of self-control by self-control. Fire of self-control by self-control. It doesn't make any sense. Lot of fire is generated in the body. It becomes difficult to tolerate it for days, weeks, months. I don't understand this. Fire of the body. What kind of fire? Lusty fire or passionate fire? I can't make out. Whose question is this? Yeah, that is passion. Passion means material desires, material activities, as is mentioned in chapter 14 of material nature. These are the material laws. Whatever nature you have taken the birth, that nature is more prominent in your life. So we have to curb that nature and try to engage in devotional service. Come to the platform of mode of goodness. Then this fire of passion can be reduced. But there will be always challenges because the passion is there. Sometimes passion will be there and passion is full of material desires. So to overcome is that engage yourself in Krishna Katha, Japa, and devotional service. Kirtan is good thing. You must be chanting some Japa. 16 rounds. Very good. So now engage in most humble services, cleaning and all that. So that will bring you to the humble position. Right. I heard in the lecture that we should chant in a mode of helplessness and helplessness. Helplessness and helplessness. But Prabhupada said just chant and hear. So if I try to create mode of helplessness, then my concentration goes in thinking that rather than hearing every word of Hare Krishna mantra, what should I do? Who is this? Right, very good. Don't take half-hand logic. Prabhupada says chant in a helplessness, or Prabhupada also said chant in a mood of a child crying for the mother. When a child is crying for the mother, he will not accept anything. He will put in full attention. Just cry, cry, cry till the mother answers. Okay? Did I answer your question? Did I answer it?
But if I try to cry, but it is not natural for me, na. So I have to endeavor separately for that. And in doing that, my concentration from hearing each and every word goes away.
Yeah, both will be there. Your attention will be more when you are crying. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. then the attention will not go anywhere. You will be able to hear, because when your Prabhupada also said, when chanting, feel the presence of Krishna. And so that means hearing will be there. Your mind is not running here and there. Makes sense to you?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Hare Krishna. So we are stopping here. It's 9:40 now. So we have one more last program for this visit for Prabhuji and Mataji. Both will be giving together. That is at Kharadi, and you all are most welcome to join that. Outside the notice board, that link or that QR code for the location is also being put, so that you can scan it and get a proper GPS to reach there. So the program is 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. You all can join there, and there are some unanswered questions here because lack of time we could not answer. So you can write these questions to Prabhuji at his personal email ID sda@backtohome.com, or you can join the e-course which he runs where he answers the question every day. Joincourse.com. Is it right? Joincourse.com. The website is joincourse.com.
To join the e-course?
Yeah.
To join the e-course, go to www.joincourse.com. Joincourse.com.
So you can write this question personally, and Prabhuji will answer personally at the joincourse.com or sda@backtohome.com. We also have some books of Prabhuji, and we have put a stall outside for displaying them. Many wonderful books based on the lectures which Prabhuji has been giving in India and various countries for last so many decades. This is a book which has a quote for every day of the year. This is a book on pure devotional service, Uttam Bhakti, the intricacies of pure devotional service, and these are a few more books. Stop Worrying, Start Living, and Pursuit of Excellence in Krishna Consciousness. And the final one is the Truth Works, which is a very good compilation on many different themes based on Prabhupada teachings and Prabhuji's lectures. So you can see all these books, they are there outside, and please have a copy of these books when you are leaving. So let us thank Prabhuji and Mataji for patiently enlightening us and answering all so many questions. And for this kind visit, we await their next visit in March or April, whenever it is possible. So let us express our gratitude to them by once chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
संकर्षण दास अधिकारी प्रभु की कुछ महत्वपूर्ण अनाउंसमेंट है। मराठी भगवत गीता क्लास 11:30 बजे राघवेंद्र प्रभु द्वारा हो जाएगा। 6 तारीख को आने वाले गुरुवार के दिन फास्टिंग है। 7 तारीख को शुक्रवार के दिन पारणा का समय बहुत ही शॉर्ट है, 6:26 से लेके 7:29, 1 घंटे का ही पारणा समय है। कृपया भक्त ध्यान रखें। आने वाले 7, 8, 9 तारीख को हमारे बीच में श्रील प्रभुपाद जी के वरिष्ठ शिष्य हिज ग्रेस वयासाखी प्रभु आने वाले हैं। तो वयासाखी प्रभु का श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास 7, 8, 9 3 दिन मंदिर में होगा। और एक महत्वपूर्ण अनाउंसमेंट है, आने वाले रविवार को हम लोग मनाने जा रहे हैं शरद पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव। तो ये शरद पूर्णिमा महामहोत्सव अगले रविवार को शाम को 4:30 बजे से शुरू होगा, और इसके बाद वो महोत्सव में सुंदर दर्शन रहता है और सभी के लिए मिल्क प्रसाद, दूध का प्रसाद रहता है स्पेशल, तो दूध प्रसाद भी रहेगा 4:30 बजे के बाद रात को 8:30-9 बजे तक। हरे कृष्णा।